Get sued a week and a half later for not asking. What are you doing? Scoring some weed on the phone there, Ronnie?
No, I'm telling everybody that I found my badge.
Oh.
It was fucking pinned to my coat like special needs. I've had this badge since XM days. Look how great shape it is. You see how people's badges all look shitty here? I don't play that game.
How old is that badge?
That badge goes all the way back to when I started at XM, so that would be 2 years ago.
Oh,
I don't know when we switched.
I don't either.
Do you know time anymore? It's just fucking crazy.
Is there any difference to you between, let's say, 2011 and 2009?
Dude, I could fucking see people that I haven't seen in 10 years.
Yes.
And I'll see them and I'll go, what'd I tell you? Am I right? Did you try that place? Like, it just seems like it's yesterday.
It as you get older,
Yeah.
It's like the water in the sink.
Oh, we're going down the drain.
It gets faster.
Yeah.
Right? As you approach the hole, it gets faster and faster.
Yeah.
The little analogy I like to use that bores the shit out of people.
I'm just worried that when Rocky wins and I run up to the fucking ring, my hat falls off and it concerns him.
I'm telling you, he is wearing the hat Adrian had on.
You got to be warm. You know, what do you wear? You wearing earmuffs tonight?
I know. I have a shawl and fucking some Astro mittens.
Thanks for catching me up with the nurse story, too. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you got to be careful today. And anytime, this is when I have a comics DNA. I knew right before I said it, I go, this could cause, and fucking I couldn't wait to get it out.
Right.
But again, what I said was factually true. It's not that I can't distinguish between other black people. It's the fact that the last time I was there was 8 months ago with a black nurse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if you show black people the police blotter from Dublin, Ireland, they'll confuse a few of the fucking criminals.
Actually, they actually confused me. Irish people look all the same. And in my neighborhood, there was a lot of Irish people when I'm growing up, right? And you end up banging your friend's sister, and then you look in her face and you see your fucking buddy, and it freaks you out. Because their face is like stamped out like they're making cookies. It's the same mug.
Is it?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Go to the goddamn St. Patrick's Day parade, and the old school Irish guys are walking, and it looks like the clone army.
Really?
Yeah.
But the girls too look alike?
Oh, yeah, they all look the same.
I went to, you know, I'm from Massachusetts. It was all Irish and Italian.
You know what the thing is with me, too, is I'm Asian. So, by the way, there was an older Asian lady. And this is what, it's actually somebody told me this in D.C. You know how we, like, if somebody asks us, oh, can you speak Chinese? And you just go, ching chong, ching, you know?
Yeah.
That's our funny thing.
Right.
This woman says we all talk like this. Sure. 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 That's what she fucking hears when we talk. I loved it.
I've never heard. That's an interesting angle.
I only heard it once in my life. And by the way, there was this Italian guy, maybe it was the 1960s, and he acted like he was singing an English song on this variety show, and he was just making up words, and it's a scream.
With no accent, just very Americanized?
But it's all phonetically. So he's going, but when you put it in the thing, and it's...
Now, who was it, Dean Martin?
I wish it was Dean Martin. God bless his soul, huh? Was he your favorite of the whole Rat Pack?
Yeah. Dino, I like his voice better than Frank's.
I agree.
Am I wrong there?
I say it to everybody. And here's the other thing. He didn't care if you interrupted his song. Like Jerry would come over, but nobody could do it to Frank. Nobody could fuck with Frank when he was
I would have been Frank.
Yeah, yes.
That's me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in a comedy club and somebody fucking looks at the menu. I go, what the fuck are you doing? Focus. I'm like Frank. You know what? It's probably how he was raised.
I have seen Nick at this stand, and in my opinion, he's murdering, right? And then he just turns on the audience.
Everybody says that about. And Colin Quinn said to me, this was like 10 years ago. He goes, "Come here, I got to talk to you. Don't become that guy that can't hear the laughter."
What a movie with Freddie Prinze, huh?
That's what it was called, right?
Yeah. And then he actually had a thing where he's on stage and you just see these silent faces. I think they were even spinning around a little bit, like if you're tripping, but he just couldn't hear the laughter. And then he told the guy who was David Brenner, "I can't hear the laughter anymore." The guy, what was he, 23?
Yeah,
when he was panicking like this?
Exactly. Yeah.
He'd still be doing open mics in fucking Queens.
And I'm glad you brought up David Brenner because I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring him up. Who told him he was funny? Jesus Christ, is he horrible?
Well, here's the thing about Brenner when he came out.
He's a Philly guy, so I'm
And
sure
so I
you're going
love
to
him.
defend him.
So I love him.
I don't hate him, but
Yeah.
but oh my God, help me out, will you please?
There was 12 comics in the country at the time, and he could keep doing material. And I'll be like, what's going on with buttons? And everybody would be going crazy. What do you got to have a button to hold your shirt together? Didn't matter what you said back then if it was observational.
That's true. There had to be
Yeah.
no clever.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that, listen to some of the. There's a couple of clips that on Sirius XM they play of Brennan. He's every bit he has to go. I was at a hotel in Atlanta. I'll never forget it. I got a call from the Tonight Show. They wanted me to do my 73rd Tonight Show in 3 weeks. And he goes way off tangent, and then the fucking bit ends. They just cut him off. It's a long, boring story.
Look, I'm a Philly guy. I love that bit. I fucking love that bit. Everybody from Philly just likes anybody who got out. You know what I mean? Like,
and he was like,
Yeah.
he wasn't a rich kid. He was kind of a
he was a street kid.
yeah. That's
You
what I
know?
do like about him.
And he used to fucking punch people. People don't even know that, but he punched the fuck out of people. But
I'm starting to like him more. And more.
yeah. But we feel the same way about Hall & Oates. People are like, what do you like about
They're Philly too, right?
Yeah, they're Philly. And
Oh
people
my
are like, how do you
God.
like them? I go, they're from Philly. They're fucking great.
Well, I kind of like Hall & Oates. I grew up with Hall & Oates. I got chlamydia twice listening to this shit.
Is that right?
Guy named Dave wouldn't let me go.
Boy, you're lit up with these calls, huh?
Look at this.
This is a hot show. Is it your new producer?
Oh, Palumbo?
Yeah.
Where is she? She's not even in there. Oh,
She asked,
the reflection.
she asked me if I needed anything from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I never got that out of you, dude. Never once. Did you care whether I needed something?
Hey, no, this guy, this fucking, I swear to God,
well.
it's like the second time he's ever done radio, this guy. He hits the mic, he hits the mic and it was vibrating, but like, I go, did you hear that? He goes, hear what?
Anytime you want to come back and run the board,
Let me
That's
tell you
why I
something.
can't-
What?
Let me tell you something.
I'm not
I
the
could-
guest liaison. I
Well-
can't leave here to get our
So who's
guest
supposed
drinks.
to do that, Andy?
Christina.
So who's supposed to tell Christina to do that?
She knows she's a good producer. She does it on her own.
Bullshit.
Let-
That's sexist to have the girl go get the food and drinks.
I felt the same way. I said, I'll get it myself.
Yeah. Let me get you some
I-
pretzels. I saw one on the
Yeah.
floor behind
And
the
I
refrigerator.
actually said this. Is everything okay with Nick? Is he being all right to you? I was a little concerned. But you could take Christina, walk her across the street. She could produce the Today Show. You know what I
know
mean?
she came in here.
Whatever you hand her, she's able to do. She's
Yeah, but
she's a real pro.
She goes over to Today's Show. She can get her ass grabbed.
By who? Hoda?
Any of those lesbians.
They've moved the dudes off that show, and I guarantee you
That's
they're
the
not bringing
whole-
in another
Of
guy.
course they're not. That's
Yeah.
the whole power play. That's half of what this is about. Most of it's legit.
Mhm.
But it's the feminists. This is a ploy.
You're saying this is like Woman Planet of the Apes, where it's going to be Planet of the Women?
Nova.
Wasn't I?
Can I just sum up the last 2 months in this country?
Yeah.
Raping me! This is rape! This is rape! This is rape!
Uh-oh, retard alert.
Okay, I'm not commenting.
I just did that to take the life out of Ron's eyes. Every
I
time
just want to keep this gig. There's not a lot. Terrestrial doesn't exist anymore. Let's just ride this thing out as
Why
long
would
as we
that
can.
get me in trouble? Seriously?
It takes one person to be like, I had my kid in the car.
Oh,
Everybody had their kid in
please
the car.
tell me that's not the world I'm living in.
Dude,
please. I just got rid of my personal parents' agent.
Did you really?
Yeah. Well, it was kind of, what do you call it when you agree?
Mutual.
Thank you. It's a big word for me.
What was he say? Couldn't get you in a car lot? What were you doing with a personal appearance?
I said,
Come
look,
out-
I want to play Uncle Vinny's 5 times here, not twice. For the love of Christ. I got
I thought you meant like beyond your stand-up. I thought you wanted to go out and meet people at a record store and sign things or whatever.
No, that's the other thing. Hey, you going to do a meet and greet? No, it's not in my job description. The fuck? I got to be your best friend? I don't sell shit after the show. I should get a slap on the back for that.
It is hard to believe how everybody pals around now. Like when you were younger and you went to a show, you wouldn't think to yourself, "Oh, I'll go out and approach the headliner afterwards."
Exactly. There's supposed to be a little mystique there.
Right.
You do your show like a magician, then you leave.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out in front of fucking governors for fucking 18 minutes. I
Dude.
really don't. And I like these people. That doesn't mean I'm not, no disrespect. You came out, you paid, whatever the fight. Probably didn't. They probably papered the room with me. But,
Papered the room.
But you came out and shit. But that's what my job description is. I entertained you. You paid to get in.
But also that is part of entertaining, that you're unapproachable. There was a tour
Me
of all
personally,
the,
you mean?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
There was a tour years ago. These so all these soul acts, and it's in Las Vegas. And James Brown for 3 days never came out of his room. He said, "I don't want people to see me walking around the lobby. I want them to see James Brown when he hits the stage." You know what I mean?
You know what?
And that's you. You're the James Brown of comedy.
I
right
wish you
now.
found somebody else you could compare me to, but he was quite a fella. I had the
What-
same hair as him in high school.
You both were afraid.
No, James Brown was a fucking artist, and
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
And you didn't see Sinatra in the lobby of the fucking Sands,
exactly
did you?
right.
Not
Here-
that I'm Sinatra.
Here's the other thing that was great about James Brown. He smoked angel dust up until he was like 72.
And, you know, it didn't show in his behavior. It's not like he beat every other wife to fucking within an inch of her life every 3 weeks and took cops on high-speed chase. It didn't really affect him.
A lot of those weren't even high speed. He was just driving along on 3 fucking tires. That's pretty good.
It is. I was a big fan.
Who do you listen to? What music do you listen to?
Well,
Yeah.
read the 3 songs I gave you to play tonight.
We have Dance Hall Days.
All right. That's a surprising one for me.
Tell me something good.
Chaka Khan and Rupert.
Sure, nice.
I knew you'd like that one.
Sure.
Magic.
From Pilot, the group.
Old fashioned love song.
I love the 70s shit.
70s.
Yeah.
I love the one-hit wonders and the
Right.
stuff I grew up on. But really, like Chaka Khan in the 70s,
Unbelievable.
that's good stuff,
Yeah.
right?
But you like the super sounds of the 70s. You listen to the Reservoir Dog track,
KBBL.
soundtrack. You're out of your mind, just so happy with
I
it.
don't. Who's on the Reservoir Dogs track?
Well, Reservoir Dogs, the entire thing the whole soundtrack was them listening to a throwback weekend, the super
that's
sounds
right.
with Stephen Wright as the DJ.
Yes.
And that music is fantastic. Little Green Bag is on there. What's the other one? I was gonna almost
America, maybe Horse with No Name.
no. It was remember when he cut
When he's
ear
cutting the
off?
guy's ear off. What's
Yeah.
the one he's dancing on?
That's
Clown.
Little Green
Tonight?
Bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clowns tonight. Clowns to the
Oh,
left
yeah,
of me,
Joe-
jokers to the right.
Goes to the right. Here I am, stuck in the
Steelers
middle.
Wheel.
Yeah,
Steelers Wheel.
Yeah.
Very good.
Jerry
Casey Kasem.
Rafferty put together a hot man. How did they ever pick Stephen Wright to be the DJ? I mean, that's pretty genius.
I forgot about that. Now
Yeah.
that you just brought it up, I
Yeah.
completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why they made him the DJ. Because he wasn't working out as Mr. Pink. Imagine him as one of the killers.
I saw him and he was in that movie I Married an Axe Murderer. Remember he was flying a plane? And that he was hysterical.
I didn't see the movie.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Oh, I got to get you Netflix. I'm gonna
I
sign you
had
up
to
for
work
everything.
that night. What was it called? I Married an Axe Murderer.
I Married an Axe Murderer, and he was an airplane pilot who fell asleep in the middle of a thunderstorm. It just this really small Piper Cub, and he was hysterical.
He's good in everything,
Yeah.
actually.
You must have, when you were a kid, he was probably working Boston, right?
Steven?
Yeah. Or was he'd already moved on?
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was huge when I was coming up. But I hung out with him for a week, more than a week, a couple weeks, doing Horace and Pete.
Oh yeah.
And me and him hit it off. You know, I would say the most off-color shit. He would be, because he's a peaceful hippie type.
Right.
Went to Emerson College and
Yeah.
and he would cry. He would be laughing so hard at the fucking, the outrageous shit. and we just hit it off. So we did in the green room, and I just, he's such a Massachusetts guy. I felt like I was hanging out with somebody I grew
Right.
up with.
Now Louis brought him in. Was he helping to write or anything, or he was just like?
He was just parked at that bar.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, Louis would give him just one word or line that would
Yeah.
absolutely
Kill.
only Stephen Wright could deliver.
Well, that it looks like Laurie Metcalf, who killed on that show.
Unbelievable actress.
It looks like she could pick up the Oscar this year.
for
She's in a thing called 3 Billboards Outside of Something.
oh yeah.
And she's good. She's really good in it. But I don't think as good as she even was on Horace and Pete. She did that long monologue
She
for like
talked
45 minutes.
She talked for honest to God, 35, 40 minutes.
and it was unbelievable.
Can you imagine having
Yeah.
to get that down?
No, not at all.
I think she was making the shit up as she was going along. Can you imagine? No, I couldn't believe when I saw that.
Yeah,
and only Louis would know to use her in that
It's
capacity.
unbelievable. He's really always been brilliant about that. You know what I mean? Like, of knowing who to use. Well, look, he put you in that thing, and you're just this knock-around guy, and it's hilarious.
Well, you probably just ruined your own theory there, but yeah, I was happy to.
Why can't you take a compliment
I
sometimes, Nick?
I just same reason I don't want to shake hands after the show.
Do you know a lot
I
of
don't need it. I was very popular in high school. That's fine with me.
A lot of people say that you're a good actor. Were you popular in high school?
Come
I
on.
don't know.
football
I ran for president. I lost by 800 votes, and there's only 300 people in our class, so apparently not. No, I didn't. I was, whatever. I got along with the burnouts, and
Right.
I was a jock, so I got along with the jock. So yeah, semi. But there was kids more popular than
But
me.
now everybody acts like, oh, I was a nerd in high school, was terrible, so I became a comedian. I always thought it was supposed to be the funny person, in the cafeteria or fucking hanging out, who should go on to be a comedian. Not the guy who was afraid to approach everybody.
I think that's a New York thing. I'm not sure. Punching
LA.
down, punching up.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean now.
Oh.
I mean, I think this has been around a long time.
Yeah.
This unhappy childhood.
Right.
I think it's a Jewish New York take on stand-up.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm
I
saying?
think it's an alt thing. When the alt thing started, it was people that like, oh, I enjoyed watching a certain show because
You don't think it existed before the
I
alt
think
scene?
I think people like Colin were. I bet for sure he was hysterical as a kid. Bobby Kelly, I'm sure he was fucking. I'm sure he was like, I want to hang out with this crazy
Right.
bastard. You know?
Right. But you don't. That whole mentality that you had to have. Bill Hicks actually mocks it one of his bits.
Yeah.
Remember, he says he's about a one-man show. He goes, I had a happy childhood. My parents were totally supportive.
Yeah.
I don't remember the ending of the fucking bit. The point was, he was brought up fine.
Yeah.
There's this whole theory about, it's about the underdog.
Yeah.
The show business or stand up. You have to be the little guy. There's nothing funny about punching down. Yeah, there is. I think it's hilarious.
I
think it's hilarious punching down.
That's the way you start being funny when you're a kid, right? Who's the one kid who's not? And that kid is, by the way, the kid who gets their balls busted is so needed in every group.
That's
you know what I mean?
Great point.
That is a fucking part to play in every group. You have to have that guy that everybody else fucks with.
Right.
It's great.
Right. And by this punching down theory punching up, as they say, that guy that you picked on, he's perfect for stand up in this business. It's kids who are put upon and picked on. At least that's the New York mentality.
Yeah.
You don't think that's
Well, no, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's more LA. Like I don't think the guys who go to the cellar are, guys that weren't able to be witty in high school.
No, but I'm talking about even before.
Like who? Woody Allen? Like a Woody Allen?
Yeah, Woody Allen, Jewish, nebbish type kids who weren't athletes, weren't jocks.
Yeah.
And that's how, even Chris Rock had a bit, how he was, bullied because he was so tiny. And he had to defend himself with his wit.
Right.
That's the fucking theory. I don't buy into that theory.
See, that's, to me,
and you don't either.
What he's saying is street sense. You know what I mean? You have to... You don't fight. A lot of people think if you got street sense, you fight everybody.
No, you
fight some people.
Right. That's exactly right.
You fucking go for a win. But then here's what you had to do when you were a kid. You found that guy who was like really tough. You busted his balls about stuff that would make him laugh.
And then
know?
your friends.
Yeah, and then your friends. So you're like, this guy fucking raped a nun 2 weeks ago. Everybody laughs. He's laughing. He's like, that's not a bad rep. You know what I mean? I look like, you know what I mean? You're right. I'm crazy as fuck.
You de-arm them.
Yeah.
Chris hit a guy with a brick that was... He picked up a giant rock. He told the story of like this. I'm like big bully that was 200 pounds bigger than him. And he didn't realize, he says he didn't realize I was fucking nuts. He fucking hit the kid with a rock at his front door, right in the fucking head.
Knocked on his door and hit him with a brick?
I think that was the story, yes.
I'd have paid to see that.
Absolutely.
That's actually better than, any of the movies he's ever made.
Then he's standing over to the kid unconscious going, I knock you out, motherfucker!
Fridays. Did you ever see that movie, Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.
I confuse them with all the other same thing I did with Black Nurses. I confuse all the black movies. Which one was Fridays?
Fridays was basically you got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
I have that sound drop on my board, by the way. Palumbo, you seem a little restless tonight. You got something on your mind.
What are you looking for? A better show, a bigger show for yourself? Is that it?
Oh,
the Today
Jesus
Show thing
Christ.
went to your head?
I'm not restless. What do you could barely see me through the reflection. What are
No,
you
but you
talking
seem
about?
a little distracted tonight.
No, I'm
No?
doing social media for you and for the faction.
Oh,
talk
all
that
right.
I'm
Well,
back
then
and
I
forth.
good.
then I was sort of right.
She's producing.
I'm just
know?
working back here. That's all.
I didn't even send you the topics. You know, it's funny you guys didn't ask for them.
Yeah, but I listen, and then when you talk about it, I go.
So I don't
look
have
for
to do
it,
that then,
and
right?
I post. Well, if you want to, it's
So
up
the
to
little
you.
I can do, the better.
Yeah. What was your
Right,
topic
Adrian?
tonight? Everything's hard on white guys?
Oh, please, Ronnie. I could make fun of you guys talking about faggy music every day.
Do we still use
I
that
didn't-
phrase?
Faggy music?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ, Jeff.
Is that? I thought maybe that was no longer in vogue.
Faggy music? That's what I like. I like
Yeah.
classic rock. I like some blues and faggy music.
Mm.
I brought in the thing that happened with the nurse at the doctor's. I get thrown off. Oh, I talk about L.A. burning down.
That was unbelievable,
holiday
man.
party.
That's what L.A. looked like when I left L.A. I had burned so many bridges. That's what it looked like from the plane.
That was your career. That was your career.
Yeah,
sir.
look at the Laugh Factory's going up. And I was going to talk about the Steelers Bengals being exceptionally. Only in today's, it was too brutal.
Yeah.
Come on, Ronnie. We all know smoking's bad for you. So is football. If you don't like to see the violence, don't fucking watch it. We got a minute left.
And they're playing the Steelers are playing the Ravens. That's really going to get ugly too. That was always the brutal game.
Vicious.
Yeah.
And I get no problem with it. I already said this again. We have about 30 seconds, but I was happy that they stopped with that. Outlawing the headshots. You should do that because somebody's going to get killed. But that doesn't hurt the ratings when that shit happens. It's right.
But you're against it. You're against spinal injuries. There's a place. There's a place for neck. We found it.
I'm going out on that limb. I don't want anybody to have a bag on their hip when they're 31.
Okay, Nancy. Look, I got to leave.
All right.
Paulie threw my fucking turkey out into the alley.
Go get. You want your fucking bird? Go out in the alley and eat your bird. Go.
You bastard!
Ronnie, thank you for coming by.
Always.
Seriously, this was, so catch him, obviously, 12-3, Raw Dog 99. And I'll be in Buffalo this weekend, Helium, Friday and Saturday night. What? That's it. We'll talk to you kids tomorrow night. Wash those asses.